Hi guys, Miss Marley here. Today we're going to find the inverse of the function with the rule f of x equals 3 root x plus 2 plus 4. We're then going to sketch both these functions on one set of axes and show the exact coordinates of the intersection of the two graphs. Okay, so first of all we want to know how to find the inverse. So there will be a separate video up about this, but for now we just have to know that we swap the x and y and then rearrange. So instead of y equals 3 root x plus 2 plus 4, we're going to have x equals 3 root y plus 2 plus 4. So by rearranging, we end up with y equals, in brackets, x minus 4 on 3 squared minus 2. We call that f negative 1 of x. That means the inverse of f of x. So the inverse f of x equals x minus 4 on 3 squared minus 2. Now, the domain of the inverse is the range of f. Now, if we have a look at our f of x function, 3 root x plus 2 plus 4, we see that, well, x can't be so that what's within the square root sign will be a negative number, because you can't have a square root for a negative number. So x would have to be negative 2, but it can't be below negative 2, because once we get to, say, negative 3, it means that we're going to have a value of negative 1 under the root sign, and we can't have a negative square root. So when x is negative 2, it means 3 times 0, because the square root of negative 2 plus 2, square root of 0 is 0. 3 times 0 is 0 plus 4. So the range when x is negative 2 would be, the range would be 4 there. So we can say it would have a limit of one end of 4. So for our inverse function, we know that our domain is going to start at 4. So we can have 4 and then it can go all the way up to infinity, because if x is anything in our original function above negative 2, we're going to get a value higher than 4, and it means and it can go all the way to infinity. So that means our domain for f of negative x, or f negative 1 of x, our inverse is going to be 4, because we can include 4, so we have a square bracket all the way up to including infinity with a curved bracket, because we can't actually reach that. So we state it like this. Let's do it on CAS, and we're going to go to the main menu there, and we're going to type in our equation x equals 3 root y plus 2 plus 4. So I've just written it in with swapping x and y around, and see it's black there. I've just highlighted that. So I get my my stylus and I highlight the equation that I've written there. You can see it there, it turns black. Now, the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to go, while it's highlighted, to interactive. I go down to equation inequality and I go to solve. Once I'm in solve, so I click that, and my equation is already entered in there. Because I've highlighted it, I don't need to enter it in again. I make the variable y, because we're going to try and solve for y, and I click OK, and I end up with this. So it says solve, x equals 3 root y plus 2 plus 4, comma y, so it's telling the calculator we want to solve for y. And it says to us y equals x squared on 9 minus 8x on 9 minus 2 on 9. Your calculator could say x squared minus 8x minus 2 all over 9. It depends. Either way is correct. And that's the rule for the inverse, found using CAS. Very easy and user-friendly. And that's all.